Joseph Biden for Barack Obama. They've all crossed Binns Bridge in Dublin, and they've all looked on the, if they're allowed, they would have hopefully seen crowds. But on the right hand side, as you cross Binns Bridge in Dublin, there's a 5-storey building. And it's apartments, and it's a bit of it's a landmark because of its height. It's higher than most other buildings. It has a beautiful pharmacy on the ground floor and apartments, but the gable wall is completely blank. There's no windows in it. So for some reason and with some method, graffiti artists, if that's the word, have managed to climb up on it using, I don't know, ropes, ladders, turntable ladders. And Jerry Cooley, who's a tour guide, Jerry, you're not happy.
How you doing, Joe? No, I'm not happy. They've translated this into a major canvas for what I call brutal graffiti. It's horrible. Okay. And as a tour guide, you did explain it is the main route in. Yeah. And only on Saturday, I had a group coming in from the airport. My first tour of the season with the Americans. And I diverted. At Clonliffe Road, down into Jones's, up to Skiven Street, into Mountjoy, down to Denmark, and then into O'Connell Street, because I knew what was coming down the road. Very, very disruptive on the eye.
But would they spot it, Jerry?
Oh, jeez, they can't miss it. I'm below it.
And does it say anything, or it's just ugly?
It's just ugly scrawl, big sprays of silvers
and
just stroking around. It doesn't even give a message. And like, while you're on the subject of the Irish shot in the Gaeilge, it's sticking out a mile. That big gable end canvas should be rented from the owners for a nominal fee, €1 a year, and put City Council in there and saying, "Paid meal a fáilte road to the
brilliant billboard." Because when you go across to the other side of the road, it's also known, I think it's Drumcondra Bridge, Binns Bridge. It was also in the news. Don't ask me why, but this is the world we live in, Jerry. It was in the news 6 weeks ago when people don't ask me, people started putting cherry tomatoes on the bridge. And it featured on RTE and it featured in the Indo and there was videos left, right and centre. As I say, don't ask me. So anyway, it's a fairly
Well, I would put a call
bridge.
out to the graffiti people to start doing the cherry tomatoes instead of the other stuff. Okay. But, you know, it gets worse. Like, it's not really, like, that sets the tone for what's coming up in Dorset Street. It is really it's absolutely brutal. I don't know whether you've sat in traffic in there in the daylight for half an hour coming into Dublin. It's horrible. Like, all of half of the shops are closed, the mezzanine fronts are pulled down, and they're all scrawled with
Dorset Street.
Now, look, Dublin in general was gorgeous. Yesterday, I was at a hotel in St. Stephen's Green. Did a beautiful weekend in Dublin. Everybody friendly. So Dublin is not the hellhole that people think it is. But this does not give a good impression of what we think of our city when we cross Binns Bridge.
And how are they doing? Because obviously it's quite obvious, nothing to do with